This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 5 arrested, motor vehicles seized in pre-dawn lottery scamming operation. 5 people, including 2 women, were arrested and their motor vehicles seized in Village Green, St. Anne following a pre-dawn operation in connection with a lottery scamming. Reports from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch are that between the hours of 5 a.m. and 10:30 a.m., members of CTOC and the Lottery Scamming Task Force conducted an operation at a house in the community with the execution of a search warrant. The police said several lottery scamming paraphernalia were seized along with the motor vehicles, which are suspected to be the proceeds of crime. The names of those arrested are being withheld pending further investigation. Firearm and ammunition seized in Hanover. A team of officers assigned to the Hanover Police Division seized one Beretta pistol with 2 magazines and 3.40 rounds of ammunition during an operation in Green Island, Hanover on Tuesday, March 22. Reports from the Lucy Police are that about 9 p.m., lawmen were in the area when a church compound was searched and the weapon and ammunition were found in bushes. No one was arrested in relation to this seizure. Papine student dies after being shot in Liguanea. A Papine high school student has succumbed to gunshot injuries he received this morning in Liguanea Avenue, St. Andrew. The police say they are probing a case of robbery and murder. The grade 10 student, Kenneth Williams, was pounced on by unknown assailants traveling in a motor car. Senior Superintendent of Police Marlon Nesbeth could not immediately provide details. However, he said the student was walking along the road when he was fired on. Portland man charged with sexually assaulting child remanded. The Portland radiator repairman charged with the sexual assault of a 7-year-old girl has been remanded and ordered to return to the parish court in Bryan's Bay on March 29. The man is charged with having sexual intercourse with a person under the age of 16 years. Investigators say the child was left in his care by her mother, who had to tend to an emergency. On her return, she learned that the child had been sexually assaulted. The accused was a neighbor of the mother and her daughter. He was held by the police as he sought to flee the community. The man was remanded during his first court appearance on January 25, where an order was issued for his fingerprint to be taken. The accused has sought bail on 3 occasions on which he faced the judge. Police searching for gunmen who shot at Workmen on Mandela Road project. The St. Catharines South Police are searching for gunmen who fired several shots at Workmen on a National Works Agency site along the Mandela Highway in Central Village in the parish last evening. The shooting disrupted the NWA's road rehabilitation project along the thoroughfare. Senior Superintendent Christopher Phillips said the police are still gathering information on the matter. Around 7 o'clock last evening, Workmen scampered as the gunshots rang out. The police responded, but the gunmen had already escaped. NWA Corporate Communications Manager Stephen Shaw said the incident will mean further expense. "We will have to use heavy-duty equipment to remove the material as it can't be used again," Shaw said. Couple accused of fraudulent vehicle transfer to return to court on May 4. Former Island Lubes Distributors Limited Director John Levy and his wife Donna, who are accused of wrongfully transferring a company truck, are to return to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on May 4. The Levys are accused of transferring an Isuzu motor truck valued at $2 million from Island Lubes Distributors Limited and to Spirits Fuel, a company in which they are shareholders and directors. The vehicle in question is said to be the property of a subsidiary of West Indies Petroleum Limited, the parent company of Island Lubes. When the couple appeared in court, a new mention date was set for their attorney-at-law Christopher Townsend and the prosecutors to have discussions. Bail was extended for both accused. The 59-year-old businessman is charged with forgery, fraud by a director, conspiracy to defraud, simple larceny, larceny of a motor vehicle, creating public mischief, and receiving stolen property, while his 56-year-old wife is charged with a conspiracy to defraud, larceny of a motor vehicle, and receiving stolen property. The court heard that John, one of the founding members of the distribution company, along with the other directors, resigned in 2019 when the entity was sold to the West Indies Petroleum Limited. Donna, who was the company secretary, resigned in April 2020. John then became a director and a shareholder in WIPL. However, John and the two other Island Loop's founding directors, including Courtney Wilkinson, reportedly had a dispute with WIPL, and a decision was made to remove John and Wilkinson as directors in February 2021. It is alleged that after the severance, John, purporting to act as a director of the distributing company, signed a transfer for the motor truck to Spirits of Fuel. It is also alleged that his wife also signed the transfer on behalf of Spirits of Fuel. The prosecution is alleging that John was not approved or authorized to make the transfer, nor had any right to the motor vehicle. John and Courtney Wilkinson have been embroiled in an ongoing legal battle with WIPL and its subsidiary Island Lubes. Both directors were removed from their positions following allegations of unauthorized access to the electronic communication of two of WIPL's current board directors. They were subsequently charged with breaches of the Cybercrimes Act in February and are to appear in court today. Information technology specialist Winston Henry, who is accused of assisting them to access the unauthorized data, is also scheduled to appear. Bomb threat at the Sagicor complex in Montego Bay. Firefighters and security personnel have reportedly responded to a bomb threat at a pharmacy at the Sagicor complex in Montego Bay. According to the news sources, the brigade got the call at 2:25 p.m. and have since responded with 3 units from the Freeport station. They have begun evacuation of the premises and have diverted traffic from along the road. Mask mandate lifted for most students in school. Education Minister Favour Williams says mask wearing is no longer mandatory at schools now that COVID-19 related measures under the Disaster Risk Management Act have been lifted. However, Mrs. Williams is recommending that masks continue to be worn at educational institutions. The minister added, however, that protocols to isolate students exhibiting symptoms of COVID-19 will continue in schools. A number of COVID-19 related measures which were imposed 2 years ago due to the outbreak of the pandemic ended last week following an announcement by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Grange cleared in Integrity Commission report on $15 million Grand Gala contract. The Integrity Commission says there was no conflict of interest in the award of $15 million Grand Gala contract awarded to cultural expert Trevor Nain by the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. Director of Investigation Kevin Stevenson also said he has seen no evidence to indicate that Culture, Gender, Entertainment and the Sports Minister Olivia Grange was directly involved in the procurement, award or execution of the contract. But the Commission has criticized the JCDC for its handling of the process. An Integrity Commission report on the investigation into the award of the contract to Nain to provide artistic direction for the 2016 event was tabled in the House of Representatives yesterday. In April 2017, then opposition spokesperson on culture Lisa Hanna raised the allegations publicly, claiming that the contract was awarded lock, stock and barrel and that there was no negotiation on the amount proposed by Nain. She questioned the contract award process after pointing out that Nain and Lenford Salmon, a senior advisor to Grange, were 2 of 4 directors of a theater production company known as Jambies International Limited. Nain was contracted to design costumes, choreograph performances, and pay assistants, all of which Hannah said could have been done by the JCDC. Grange had blasted Hannah for her claims and insisted that she was not aware of the contract. But in its report, the Integrity Commission said NIN did submit an unsolicited proposal in May 2016, which the JCDC board approved in June that year. The Director of Investigations said the payment of 50% of the contract value on the same day an invoice for the full value was submitted was in keeping with the terms of the duly executed contract. But the JCDC has been criticized for how it handled the aspects of the procurement process. The Commission said the accounting officer breached the government's handbook of public sector procurement procedures by failing to observe other guidelines or industry practice or to develop internal procedures to guide the procurement of NIN's services. The accounting officer also breached the then Contractor General's Act, as the JCDC failed to report a contract whose value triggered mandatory reporting to the then Office of the Contractor General, the Commission said. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.